How you doing, coaches? My name is Toby Jacobi. I'm the head strength coach at Charleston Southern University. What I'm going to talk to you today is about team and individual motivation in the weight room. Why I think team and individual motivation is very important, especially in the strength and conditioning aspect of a football program, is that's where you start your building process for your players for your championship seasons. What I'm going to do is go through, give you a couple of ideas that have been implemented at different programs for you to use in your program to help motivate your players and your team in the weight room. When we talk about team and individual motivation in the weight room, really the two programs I'm going to discuss is what we have as far as our core competition and our Buccaneer Classic. Our core competition is our team motivating competition where it involves helping build leadership with our players, teaching guys how to lead, and two, making each other accountable to their teammates. Our individual motivation is our Buccaneer Classic. What we do with our Buccaneer Classic is we take our testing results with each individual player, score them by position, and then that gives us an idea as far as how they've progressed through our off-season program. You'd be really surprised as far as both of these programs with your players, if you implement them, they will really begin to buy into them on their own. So these are the two programs in which we will talk about. First, we'll talk about the core competition. The core competition is something that I came into know at Kent State University under head football coach Doug Martin, and we implemented it with our guys, and that helped us make the fourth biggest turnaround in Division 1A. And a lot of it really came from this. We've got a lot of publicity from it, and I have continued to use that now moving on to Charleston Southern University. What the core competition does, this is our team motivation competition. What that allows us to do is helps our guys that we feel comfortable with build our leaders, grow, learn how to lead in small groups, and then as time goes on, they know how to lead when they are put in the situations to lead a football team, they can do so. So what you do, how you start the core competition is you can do it a couple of ways. Initially when you implement the competition, you really need to pick the players you want as your leaders. Reality of it is you've got to have your guys that are players be your leaders. It's nice to have a guy who does everything right and is a rah-rah guy on the bench, but if he's not on the field playing, it's hard for players to believe in him and it's hard for them to follow him. So what you really want to do is you want to pick the combination of guys who are good character guys and good players. What we do, usually you don't want any more than 12 to 15 players on a team. You try and get 2 captains per team. Typically the way we've done it is you'll end up with about 6 teams and 2 captains per those teams, and those captains are responsible for organizing their team whenever there's activities or something along those lines. Those guys are the ones who are responsible for making sure their teammates are living up to snuff. Once the teams, or once the captains are, how you figure out how you get your captains developed, then basically it's the NFL draft. This is where a lot of the players begin to buy into the program. It's where they feel ownership to it. You have to give the kids something to where they can feel ownership to it, to where they're going to buy into it. Once you do this, once we have our captains draft their teams. You know, you put the names up on the board, and team 1, hey, I want this guy, I want this, you know, and you go right down the line. So it's a pretty neat little deal. Then once you have the teams picked,